Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Sacred Beast deck profile. So this deck is a super fun deck that you can actually summon out Armatal, the Chaos Phantom, with 10,000 attack points, and this is not the only monster in the extra deck that can be summoned out with 10,000 attack points. I'm really excited to show you guys this deck because it does play Raviel, Uria, and Hamon, all three, and you can summon them all out and use their effects quite effectively in this deck. So without further ado, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can come on our part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So I'm really excited to show you guys this deck. It's super fun, and I highly recommend if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and really like the Sacred Beast, this might be the way that you can actually play all three of them in the same deck, and this is the way I like to play them. I've played with this deck a long time, and it's super fun. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Raviel because he is one of the best ones and the easiest to summon in this particular build. Basically, you have to tribute 3 Fiend monsters in order to special summon this card, which is pretty easy to actually do in this deck. And you can tribute during each of your opponents' or each time your opponent normal summons a monster, you special summon a Phantasm token that's 1,000 for each monster summoned, but it cannot be declared an attack. And once per turn, you can tribute a monster, and this card gains attack equal to the original monster's attack. So this card can get really big really quickly. And it's easy to summon this guy out with your copy of Dark Summoning Beast. Dark Summoning Beast is the really easy way that you're actually going to summon this out. So then we play 1 copy of Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder, which is arguably the best one and the easiest one to summon out in the entire deck because, or not the easiest one to summon out, but has the best effect because it cannot be normal summoned or set, and you have to special summon it by having 3 continuous spells you control and sending them to the graveyard, which we don't actually play any continuous spells in the deck, so you have to summon it off of Dark Summoning Beast. But it has the ability, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the grave, it inflicts 1,000 points of damage to your opponent, and when this card is face up in defense position, monsters your opponent control cannot declare attacks on monsters you control except Hamon. Then I play 1 copy of Uria, Lord of Searing Flames. I really wish I could play more of Uria because Uria is my favorite of the 3 Sacred Beast because it's based off of Slifer, and Slifer's my favorite god card, which is just it's my favorite. You have to send 3 continuous traps you control to the graveyard, which we do have those in the deck. I play 8 to get it up to special summon it on the field, and then it gains 1,000 attack for each continuous trap in the graveyard, and once per turn you can target a set card your opponent controls and destroy it, and neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation, which is really cool because it's really good to like Night Beam something your opponent controls. Then we play, the way that this deck works is you have 3 copies of Dark Summoning Beast. This card is going to be the way that you're going to summon out your Sacred Beast all the time. Basically, you contribute this card to special summon one of the Sacred Beasts from your deck or hand, ignoring their summoning conditions, and also monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of the turn, which is not that big of a deal because you're just trying to get them out on the first turn anyways. You can only use this effect once per turn, and you can banish this card from your graveyard to add a Uria, Hamon, or Raviel from your deck to your hand, which is really good to be able to add them to your hand if you have the necessary cards to special summon them. Usually what I'll do is I'll special summon Hamon in defense position on my first turn and banish this and add Uria because I play so many cards that I can just special summon it out really easily. Then I play 3 copies of Phantom of Chaos. Phantom of Chaos is really good in this deck too, because basically what you do is you have on your side of the field, you normal summon this, and then you can target an effect monster in your graveyard and banish it, and if you do until the end phase, this effect becomes that effect. So you can banish your Dark Summoning Beast, tribute this, and then special summon out another copy of Uria, Hamon, or Raviel, and this is just a normal summon. So all you have to do is get Dark Summoning Beast in the graveyard, so it's really easy to pull that off. Then, so we can get to our Phantom of Chaos as quickly as possible, we play 3 copies of Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk is the big way that you actually summon out the Phantom of Chaos so you don't have to hard draw it. 3 copies of Stygian Street Patrol. Stygian Street Patrol is if you get a Dark Summoning Beast locked in your hand, you can banish this from the graveyard to special summon a Fiend-type monster as 2,000 or less attack from your hand to your side of the field. So this card is the card that lets you special summon them out really easily from your hand to get them, out. So you contribute it to special summon out one of your Sacred Beasts. Then for the last 2 monsters, I play Armageddonite, so I can send the Dark Summoning Beast to the graveyard, or Stygian Street Patrol. And a copy of Dark Grapher. This card I wish was at more than 1. I used to play this at like 3 in the deck because it was really easy to pull this card off by sending this to the graveyard when you had both of these in your hand. Then send something else to the graveyard like Stygian Street Patrol. And then, send something else to the graveyard like a second Dark Summoning Beast. And then normal summon this out. And you could get all 3 of them out all at once, which was really crazy. So that's it for the monsters, guys. I don't really worry about all the hand traps and stuff because I'm just going to summon these and go for it first turn anyways. This is definitely a going first deck. So that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army because it's like playing that extra copy of Dark Grapher and the extra copy of Armageddonite. Foolish Burial because Foolish Burial is really good in this deck. It really helps out a lot to be able to send the Dark Summoning Beast to the graveyard. Now, my next tech card is 1 copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is the way that I summon that other monster that has 10,000 or more attack. Your copies of Summoner Monk make it really, really easy to summon out Utopia Double, because all you have to do is summon out Utopia Double, or you summon out Summoner Monk, discard a spell, and then summon out something like Armageddonite, send Dark Summoning Beast to the graveyard, and then you got it set up for your Phantom of Chaos, and you overlay for your copy of Utopia Double, add this, overlay with Utopia, swing, negate, swing again, 10k, and if you don't know to KK them then you summon out one of your Sacred Beasts, which is an option. I played 2 copies of Fallen Paradise. I bumped this down to 2. I don't feel like you need as many as I used to play. I played 3 before, but basically it makes it so your Sacred Beast can't be targeted, and Armatal can't be targeted, and they can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects. And while you control them, you can draw 2 cards, 1 per turn. So it gives you an additional draw to dig deeper into the deck to get the cards that you need for combos. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. This card's super good in this deck because everything in the main deck is dark except for Uria and Hamon, so you're going to use it all the time. 3 copies of Transmodify. Transmodify is kind of an old school card, but it really works out because you can normal summon Stygian Street Patrol, and if you summon Stygian Street Patrol, you can activate Transmodify to send this to the grave to special summon instantly your copies of Dark Summoning Beast, to special summon out any one of your Sacred Beasts, which is extremely easy to pull off because all you have to have is Stygian Street Patrol and this, so it's a 2-card combo to get a Sacred Beast out. Then I play for the last 3 spells, I play 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave just stops hand traps, and that's the big reason that I play it at 3 in this deck, because you just don't want to deal with hand traps, ever. So that's it for the spells. Let's get into the traps, because we do actually play 8 traps in the main deck, which is pretty good, or 7. So we're going to be playing 2 copies of Escape from the Different Dimension. Escape from the Different Dimension is we banish our copies of the Dark Summoning Beast a lot. So I play this to bring it back. You get to target a banished dark monster and special summon it. That's all it does. It's basically Call of the Haunted for banished dark monsters. Speaking of Call of the Haunted, I play 3 copies of Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted just brings back our monsters that are in the graveyard, like Summoner Monks and stuff like that, to be able to just use them again, or Dark Summoning Beasts, because you can get one banished and one in your graveyard and bring them both back at different times, and then bring out Sacred Beast after Sacred Beast to OTK your opponent. And then I finally play 3 copies of Fiendish Chain to stop my opponent from attacking me and negate effects. This is, in my opinion, the best option for this deck. I know it's kind of weird to play that, but it works with Uria. That's why I play this, is because it does work with Uria, because you have to have those continuous traps in the graveyard to special summon him out. And so it works really, really well with him. That's the only reason that I play all these continuous traps, is because of Uria. If you don't want to go the Uria route and you want to play more towards Hamon and Raviel, you can drop some of these like this and play more hand traps, but I like playing around all of them. So that's why I did what I did. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Armatal, the Chaos Phantom. Basically, its big effect is that it becomes 10,000 on your turn, which is really good, and you have to banish the above materials you control. You do not use polymerization to summon this. That's why you don't play polymerization or anything like that, and it becomes 10,000 attack during your turn only. That's all it does. It's just kind of the nostalgia factor that you can summon it. It's an option to summon it, but we never really summon it. But it's cool, nonetheless. One copy of Boral Sword. I summon this kinda often because it's kind of easy to summon out in this deck. One copy of Nightmare Unicorn. I summon this a lot more. It bounces something. Phoenix to pop spells and traps. Cerberus to pop monsters. Wee-Witch because it is a dark monster and it boosts all my dark monsters up. The only thing that you have to be careful of is it does take Hamon down, but it does boost Raviel up. Then I play this engine, which is kind of interesting. Haha, engine, and they're trains. But the Gustav Max, the Superdora, and the Juggernaut Libby are really good in this deck because all you have to do is have 2 Sacred Beasts on the field because they're level 10s and overlay both of these into the Juggernaut Libby and OTK your opponent, which is really funny to go, yeah, I'm going to overlay my 2 Raviels. And they go, what? Huh? What did you just do? Which is fun. It's really funny to do, especially if you summon out like Uria and you're just going to use Uria as fodder. Anyways, you can Night Beam something and then overlay with Uria and Hamon or Uria Raviel and summon out this and then attack your opponent for, 6,000. And then I play the Utopia, the Lightning Engine, which is 1 copy of Utopia, 1 copy of Utopia Prime, and then 1 copy of Utopia. So you basically do this to get a 5,000 beat stick out. The extra deck is just loaded with OTKs. That's basically what this is here for. You summon out Utopia, then you overlay into Utopia Prime, and then you overlay into Utopia the Lightning, and it makes a 5,000 beater that can attack twice, and they can't activate anything when it attacks. Then I play 1 copy, another copy of Utopia for the Utopia double, so I can go this way or this way if I want to. And Utopia Double is basically you overlay into Utopia Double, and its effect is that you get to add double or nothing to your hand, and then you overlay a copy of Utopia on top of it to make it 5,000, but it can't attack directly, which kind of sucks. But it also lets you attack once, negate its effect with Utopia's effect, activate double or nothing to make it 10,000, and then attack again, which is cool. And then I play 1 copy of number 60. I just call him Douglas the Timeless. But basically, this effect is that you skip your draw phase to draw 2, discard 1, skip your next main phase to special summon a monster from your graveyard and defense, or skip the battle phase of your next turn to double the attack of a monster you control until the end phase of the turn. This can get really nasty against your opponent. I've had some instances where I summoned out like this and Utopia Double with like Wee-Witch above it and made Utopia 10,000 and then did Utopia or did double or nothing and went up to 20,000, which has happened. And it's rare, but it happens. And this card's good basically for the revival. You're not really concerned about your next main phase because you're going to try and OTK your opponent with this card. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun to play around with, to be able to play the Sacred Beasts. I really loved Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and I'm really excited to be able to play them still and have a little bit of synergy. I really wish that there was more support for this deck, and maybe in the future, hopefully with Legendary Duelists and stuff like that, we'll get the opportunity to actually have more support for the Sacred Beasts, which would be really awesome. I mean, all they need is like some continuous traps, some continuous spells, and, a couple of monsters. Like, that's all they need. Maybe a couple of fiend monsters that let you add them from deck to hand, like Disciple of Raviel, Disciple of Uria, Disciple of Hamon, and then a continuous spell and a continuous trap for each Sacred Beast, so you can summon them out really easily. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.